Firefighters who have worked at massive disaster scenes in the past say feelings of fatigue and frustration often hit the hardest.
Well, you're looking at something that's very unnatural.
Paul Bailey was one of the Indianapolis firefighters who went to Oklahoma City 3 years ago. He says these are the hardest times for those searching for survivors.
It's tough because we go in there with the thought we're going to make every effort to bring somebody out. And when you finally reach that point, like we did in Oklahoma City, that we finally had to accept the fact that we were no longer in a rescue mode, but rather a body recovery mode, it's tough on everybody.
Rescue workers keep trying to reach people still alive in the rubble of the embassy bombing in Kenya. Crane operators are lifting heavy slabs of concrete. But rescue veterans know that the real work of removing debris must be done by hand, one stone at a time.
We compare it to like child's pickup sticks. When you drop them, they're all kind of laying there. When you try to pull one out, if you pull the wrong one, they all start rolling.
The explosions at the 2 embassies in Africa happened on Friday. Once 2 to 3 days goes by, it's thought that the chance that someone could be found alive beneath all the steel and concrete decreases rapidly. Paul Bailey says it is the time that search and rescue teams hope for a miracle in the ruins.
It's tough on the entire team, and that's the reason we provide CISD for all the teams as they come back to make sure they deal with the stress that they're going to deal with, especially when you hear victims when you get there and you're not able to effect a rescue. It's tough.
Now, you saw Paul Bailey mention CISD. That stands for Critical Incident Stress Debriefing, which helps rescuers deal with the impact of their work. And for those searchers in Africa, just finding someone alive at this point might be a miracle. But the possibility of losing that victim is one of the hardest things any of the rescuers will still have to face in the days ahead. Kenneth, yeah?
But hope remains alive tonight. Tony, thank you very much for that report. A local man is among 2 American soldiers reportedly killed by torrential rains in South Korea. The Army says 27-year-old Thomas Patterson of Indianapolis and another soldier died yesterday after a mudslide near their air base in Seoul. Severe flooding there has already claimed 165 lives. Seoul has received nearly 40 inches of rain over the past 4 days.
4 people were killed this afternoon when a pickup truck collided with a car head-on. Police say the pickup truck was westbound on US 52 near State Road 121 in Franklin County. The car was eastbound on US 52. They say the truck drifted across the center line, hitting the car head-on. The driver of the pickup was killed, and 3 of the 4 people in the car were killed. The 4th person in the car was injured and taken to a Cincinnati hospital. The names of the victims have not yet been released. Well, 1 person is critically injured, another is missing after they jumped into a swollen creek in Harrison County. Officials say 3 18-year-old girls jumped into the Big Indian Creek near Corydon. They say cousins Tara and Jennifer Donaldson tried to float over a low-head dam, but got caught in turbulent water. Rescue crews were able to recover Tara, but could not locate Jennifer. The search will resume in the morning.
6 people are dead, several dozen others are hurt after a fire this afternoon at a high-rise apartment building in New Jersey. It started in a 4th-floor apartment. It's not yet clear what started this fire. Most of the people who live in the building are senior citizens. 6 residents of the building died. 1 panicked and jumped to her death as rescuers tried to reach her with a ladder. 20 firefighters were among those injured.
The Grant County town of Sweetser is facing a major water crisis. Each of the town's 500 homes and businesses has a private well. Recent tests showed more than half of those wells are contaminated with E. coli and chloroform bacteria. The state blamed the problem on some people illegally tapping into the town's sewer system. Recent heavy rains caused backups and sewage flooded into the wells. The city can fine those who don't disconnect their illegal drains right away.
The letter is going to go to each landowner that has a problem. We're giving them a certain amount of time to be able to get that corrected. We do have an ordinance against all that.
It's kind of scary. You don't know if, you can contract it anyways, or, and we've got a little grandbaby that lives with us, so it's kind of scary.
Walmart, Sam's Club, and Marsh donated water to help the town through the state-imposed dry spell. Some residents are treating their wells with chlorine to get rid of the bacteria.
Tina, the nation's largest local phone company, Bell Atlantic, and close to 75,000 of its unionized workers are starting this week with a bad connection. Employees walked out just after midnight after settlement talks broke down. The talks are back on tonight. The dispute is over job security. For now, Bell Atlantic managers are staffing the lines and interruptions are few, but that could change tomorrow as businesses increase call volume. Bell Atlantic serves 13 states in the Northeast from Maine to Virginia.
Still to come on News 8, relatives of the 2 Virginia children switched at birth meet for the first time. And this annual celebration in Reno, Nevada, right here, turned ugly when police were forced to confront an angry mob.
If you've ever bobbed for pig's feet, this competition is for you. A trip to the annual Redneck Games coming up a little bit later. And in sports, the Indians, they've been struggling lately. Tonight, they tried to right the ship at Victory Field. Dick Rea has highlights coming up.
News 8, closer to the action.
Can I say hello to all the people from Pittsburgh?
Closer to the drama.
Hancock County Sheriff's Department's in pursuit of her van.
And Central Indiana knows it. That's why you made Wish TV your #1 choice for news in July. News 8, nobody gets you closer.
Dooley, it's Ross. Yesterday I requested implementation of an active asset allocation for derivative securities, knowing full well that any reduction of the equity beta...
Let's face it, you're not always clear on a cellular phone. But now there's Sprint PCS, the only nationwide all-digital network, for a new level of clarity.
Just sell everything. I want to buy a ranch.
Sprint PCS.
With horses.
Until August 9th, only $16.99 for 100 clear minutes anytime.
There's no one reason to go to Benihana, only countless reasons. To Sandy, Craig, and Patrick, who work a 60-hour week, a well-deserved business lunch. For David and Beverly, who finished their living room, a show of seasonings. And for Ted, with his game-winning shot, super flying shrimp. For a Sunday family meal, there's always a reason to go to Benihana.
Hey, I'm late. Where are my keys? Where are my keys?
Hey, got a minute?
We've got to go.
Well, Toyota's National Clearance Event is here. Now's the time to check out the great selection and get a $229 a month lease on Camry. Or if you buy, choose $750 customer cash. Or choose 4.8 financing for 48 months. An incredible offer on America's #1 selling car. So take time off for Toyota's National Clearance Event. Now at your Toyota dealer.
How do tornadoes form?
How about lightning?
Usually you see its forecast like this. Here's your chance to experience it. At the State Fair, August 19th for Wish TV's Fair Weather Day, live at our Land Pavilion.
Sponsored by Bryant Heating and Cooling and Puron.
It was a done deal.
Larry told Alyssa, let's make a deal.
You told me 100 times I was getting paid $1,000.
There's no business like monkey business.
He made it pretty clear he was interested in more than a friendship.
That's People's Court. Monday at 4 on Wish TV.
An annual summer celebration turned violent this weekend in Reno, Nevada. Police in riot gear were called in when crowds at the hot August night celebration got out of hand. Police used tear gas, rubber bullets, and dogs to disperse the mob that was overturning cars and throwing rocks. 130 people were arrested. City officials blame alcohol and out-of-town gang members for starting the melee.
Police in Washington state say they are closer to arresting 5 suspected bank robbers, all of them females, and 3 of the suspects are teenagers. The holdup took place a week ago Friday, and detectives believe the women got the idea from the recent movie Set It Off. In that film, women hold up a bank. Police say there are several parallels to the robbery in the movie and the one that took place in Washington. The suspects range in age from 14 to 33.
A horrifying twist to the story of the 5 girls who died in a car trunk in Utah. Police say the mother of 2 of the girls drove around the neighborhood looking for them, unaware that they were in the trunk. The 5 kids were reported missing on Friday. They were found later that day when police popped the trunk of the car. The deaths have been ruled accidental, but it's still not known how the kids got into the trunk.
Families of 2 babies switched at birth met for the first time this weekend. Paula Johnson found out Callie Marie, the girl she'd raised since birth, was not her biological daughter through blood tests last month. On Friday and Saturday, Johnson and her former boyfriend spent time with the grandparents of the other child, Rebecca Chittum. The parents who raised Rebecca were killed in a car crash in July. Rebecca's grandfather says the meeting was a chance to get to know each other. The grandparents have agreed to genetic testing of Rebecca to determine if she is a blood relative. The results are expected tomorrow.
In Indianapolis, the number of cases of sexual assault appear to be on the decline, but some experts think that's because some victims aren't reporting the crime. New public service announcements are being released this week aimed at getting victims to come forward. 3 local hospitals operate Centers of Hope programs geared toward the treatment of rape victims. This week, other Indiana health professionals will learn about the concept at a special conference. It's hoped additional centers around the state will help victims like it helped this woman who was raped 2 years ago.
From the second I entered, the trauma was somewhat decreased, and it was the first period of time in a 12-hour period that I felt as if I was going to get help. I was going to get encouragement.
Another Center of Hope will open this fall at Community Hospital East.
Time is on their side. The Rolling Stones are in Russia for the first time in their long careers. They'll play to 100,000 fans in one show in Moscow Tuesday night. Back in the days of the old Soviet Union, the communist leaders called the Stones' music decadent. The group received a warm welcome as it arrived in Moscow today.
You could call today a warm one, although muggy, but not a bad day for a Sunday.
We're ready to start me up for a new week. And here's Steve Bray to tell us about the work. I couldn't resist, Steve. It's late at night, but you know the puns.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get some satisfaction, too. We are looking at some pretty nice weather in parts of central Indiana today, and other parts, a lot of rain out there. We'll talk about the forecast and show you the radar when we come back.
It began as the product of meticulous Japanese design, but it was sent to Europe for finishing school. It was tested on Austria's Alpine roads, refined on Germany's autobahns, and chased on England's racetracks. Now the car that's proven itself in Europe is crossing the pond. Introducing the all-new Infiniti G20. Born in Japan, educated in Europe, now available in America.
You're moving along, things going pretty much as you expected. Then suddenly... Curve for men and curve for women, from Liz Claiborne.
Give your senses a thrill. 5 travel-ready treats, free with any purchase of $35 or more of Curve for Women or Curve for Men at LS Airs.
Painkiller? No. Any last words? No. Then what do you want on your tombstone?
Don't you mean in my tombstone?
What do you want in your tombstone? Cheese. New Tombstone stuffed crust pizza with mozzarella inside that's always hot, always gooey. What do you want in your Tombstone stuffed crust pizza?
Mint. I'm stuffed.
Maternity, Dr. Weiner.
Doc, we're on our way. I'm fine, but my husband's not breathing.
Tell him, breathe in, breathe out.
There's a new cellular service from Ameritech that's so clear, it's like you're there.
Another dad down in the waiting room.
Give him some air. See you soon.
Thanks, Doc.
Virtually no static or interference. Clear path, so clear, it's like you're there.
Get a free phone and free nights and weekends for $49.
Steve Bray has been approved by the American Meteorological Society.
It seems like we're always going from one extreme to the other. It was dry for a long time, and now it's been wet for several days. I guess we needed the moisture, though.
And the humidity's been a constant. They will lose that for a couple of days.
It looks like we will. Probably by Tuesday, we'll knock that humidity down quite a bit. We've got some pretty nice days headed our way. But for tonight, looking at a couple of thunderstorms. Show you super Doppler rate right now. Those thunderstorms located around the Rushville area, southern Rush County, then extending down into portions of Decatur County, around the Greensburg area, a little bit north of there, some showers and some thunderstorms going on right now. Then also around Muncie, over into portions of Randolph County, a couple of scattered storms, Wayne County as well, north of Richmond, a little bit of shower activity. A lot of what you're seeing in the western side of the state is false echoes from the radar. We do have a lot of humidity in the atmosphere, and that sometimes gives problems for the signal. So that is false echoes, the real rain happening into the east. And if you take a little wider look at the radar on the weather computer, you can see how basically all the activity is taking place in the eastern part of the state. Back out west, a few clouds, and then over Illinois, some clearer weather. We may see some of that clear weather later on tonight and then during the day on Monday. Here's a look at NextRad estimates of precipitation. Now, this is not a live look at radar. What it's showing you is how much rain has come down in the last 24 hours, and a large portion of Indiana has gotten at least a dose of rain. There are a few dry spots out there, but the rainfall totals ranging from around 1/3 of an inch all the way up to as much as an inch in some locations. Downtown right now, we don't have any rain going on. We've just got mostly cloudy skies, 8/100ths of an inch in the rain gauge from rain mainly this morning in the Indianapolis area. 1.83 is where we stand for the month so far. Temperature 73, winds out of the west at 3 miles an hour, the humidity 87%, and the barometer is holding steady. 83 the high today, low this morning down to 70 degrees, and it looks like we're going to be real close to that number tonight for a low. We've got this upper level low pressure system east of us, and that's what's been keeping us in the rain for the last several days. Well, that low is now pulling out. We're just on the back fringe of this system, so we're just looking at a little bit of rain out there. Just a couple of isolated showers have been with us throughout the day today, and we're going to get rid of most of that activity. By 7 a.m. on tomorrow morning, looking at a few showers southeastern Indiana. The rest of the state looks fairly dry. Looking at a partly sunny Monday. By the afternoon, this cold front will be dropping down from the north. That could touch off a few isolated thunderstorms through the late afternoon, then into the evening hours on Monday. But by Tuesday, that cold front begins to exit Indiana, and as it drops to the south, we're going to see some clear weather move in here. High pressure is taking over, and it's going to be a slightly cooler air mass, but you'll probably notice the biggest difference in the fact that it's going to be a drier air mass, so lower humidity. Here's your forecast for tonight. Look for a few thunder showers out there for the rest of tonight. Partly cloudy skies. Those showers will probably last actually for the next couple of hours. Low 69 degrees. During the day on Monday, partly sunny. Isolated thunderstorms mainly during the afternoon hours, it looks like, for Monday. Now, we will be looking at a little bit of drier weather as this week goes on. Lower humidity and not much rain all the way through Friday. Low to mid 80s for highs. So a nice week is ahead.
Very nice.
We look forward to it.
And Dave Miley's been doing a great job with the Indians. A very nice job. Dick Rea is here to tell us about the recent tough times of the Indians, whether they got back on track tonight.
They may have been better off if it had rained all day today. Things are going for the Tribe. Another rough one against Durham. We'll have the highlights coming up next in sports.
I'm Chuck Waddy, proprietors of the Lone Star Steakhouse and Saloon. Our health-minded marketing team says we ought to offer more food groups.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't know food groups.
I know, Waddy. Our mesquite grilled steaks come with steaming baked sweet potatoes and such, but they say we need fruit. Well, we got a rawhide Rita, Pecos peach, and beer with lime.
That's got to.
Now, come get a balanced meal at the Lone Star Steakhouse and Saloon. A nice thick slice of Texas.
Yeah.
Huh?
Lunch is served. You can't eat me, Putty Cat.
You're right. And you know why, my fine feathered friend?
It's not in my contract?
No, because a sandwich just isn't a sandwich without the tangy...
What's eating him?
You're not going to communicate in a world this complicated without a little help. That's why Sprint put the whole world on the head of a pin. A question is never far from an answer with the Sprint store at Radio Shack. We'll show you so many ways to keep in touch you won't miss a thing. Getting on the net with Earthlink Sprint gets you the best internet service on Earth. And our experts can help your business do more business. With this kind of help, you'll rest a lot easier. Sprint, where it all comes together.
Introducing the 1998 Kia Sportage.
Swamp Tours.
Sounds like fun.
Welcome to the swamp.
Hey! What got your mojo going, huh? We looking for that big bad alligator right now. Alligator, where you at, baby? Yep, here's a shortcut. Who need road? It's just like chicken. Hello there, what y'all doing? Hey!
Try it, honey.
The 1998 Kia Sportage. It'll get your mojo going, starting at under $16,500.
It's been a busy couple of weeks on the local sports landscape, what with the Brickyard 400 last weekend, plus Colts camp and Indy's first preseason game in the Peyton Manning era. Somewhat lost in the shuffle has been the free fall of the Indianapolis Indians. 4 weeks ago, they had a healthy 9-game lead in the IL West, but they've gone 7-17 since then and have fallen 4 games in back of Louisville. Tonight, they take on the Durham Bulls at Victory Field. Top of the second, Kerry Robinson with a 3-run home run. All of a sudden, it's 5-1. Durham and the Tribe having to play catch-up. Bottom of the third, Paul Konerko, our guest last night on Sports Locker, the blue pit to center to score Damian Jackson. And then Brooke Fordyce with the hit to right to score John Nunnally. The Indians battle back to tie it up at 5. But in the 5th, Mike Walker facing Russ Moorman hangs a curveball, and that is well hit. A home run to left field. The Indians losing again 10-6. 2 homers by Mormon, his 200th career minor league home run. You may have seen that feature on Norman in Sports Illustrated a couple of weeks ago. National League action today. Atlanta at San Francisco. Giants come in a game and a half behind the Cubs in the wild card race. In the third, Barry Bonds with a 3-run home run off John Smoltz. One of 2 Bonds home runs on the night. He has 23 on the year. And then in the 7th, Michael Tucker with a solo shot to right, his 12th. That made it 5-4 Atlanta. The Braves win 7-5. Dennis Martinez gets the win and becomes the all-time winningest Latin American pitcher in Major League history. His 244 wins is one better than Juan Marichal. Milwaukee beat the Reds. The Reds got all 3 of the runs in the 8th, but it wasn't enough. The Expos beat Arizona on Dog Day at Olympic Stadium. St. Louis beat the Cubs again. No home runs for McGuire or Sosa. Houston takes 3 from Philadelphia this weekend, 11-2 the final. The Rockies better than the Mets, 11-4. The Padres are now 35 games over 500, and Pittsburgh beat Los Angeles. In the American League, Ken Griffey Jr. has gone 9 games now without a home run, but the Mariners get the win and sweep a 4-game set from Detroit. Toronto beats Oakland, Tampa Bay over Cleveland. The Yankees sweep 4 from Kansas City. Minnesota better than Baltimore, and Anaheim shuts out the White Sox. Mo Vaughn with 2 home runs in Boston's romp over Texas. The Colts had the day off but return to practice tomorrow afternoon in Anderson. Saturday's loss was typical for the preseason game. Some good moments and not so good moments. While the defense struggled in the first half, the Colts offense performed well. Peyton Manning connecting with Marvin Harrison for a touchdown, and Kelly Holcomb hooked up with Torrance Small for this third quarter touchdown. The Colts' next game is a week from tomorrow in Cincinnati.
I think we're going to be constructive of ourselves. Watching this film, be hard on ourselves. I'll be hard on myself personally because we need to go back to work on Monday, trying to improve and try to not make as many mistakes next time against Cincinnati.
On to racing, NASCAR at the Bud at the Glen. Jeff Gordon going for his 3rd straight win overall. Jeff Bodine losing a tire. It rolls through the gravel. 4 laps to go. Jeff Gordon going around Mike Skinner for the lead. Also Mark Martin in hot pursuit. He goes around Skinner for 2nd. But Gordon again holding off Mark Martin. He gets his 36th career win, 3rd in a row, 7th this year. It's his 3rd straight road course win. He now has an 82-point lead over Martin in the Winston Cup point standings. And they had a wild day for Cart at Mid-Ohio. Alex Zanardi losing control, does a little off-wheel road racing there, but able to get back on track. 31 laps left. And watch the action here in the pits. Andre Ribeiro and Greg Moore comes around and clips the car. Nearly got into a crew member for Ribeiro. Let's take another look. Look how close the crew member comes to serious injury. And Michael Andretti, a spectacular crash, flipping several times. He's able to walk away somehow. Alex Zanardi will try to pass Helio Castroneves, making contact. And Zanardi was fined $50,000 and had his championship point taken away today for finishing 12th. So they had a wild ride today. Adrian Fernandez won that race today in Mid-Ohio.
Thank you, Dick.
Thank you, Dick.
We'll be right back.
Racecom Discount Mitsubishi is having a $199 down deliver sale. During this special sale, lease a brand new 98 Sporty Eclipse for $219 per month, or a rugged Montero Sport for $289 per month, with only $199 down, plus we make the first payment. That's right, we make the first payment. See us now, the $199 down sale is on. Racecom Discount Mitsubishi, Indy's #1 volume Mitsubishi dealer, just a half-mile north of the Greenwood Park Mall on US 31 South.
You're moving along. Things going pretty much as you expected. Then suddenly... Curve for men and curve for women. From Liz Claiborne.
Give your senses a thrill. 5 travel-ready treats free with any purchase of $35 or more of Curve for women or Curve for men at LS Airs.
One of my old boys dropped by the other day, Andy Borden.
Hey, Coach.
Boy, there was no quitting that kid. You put him in a tough situation, and he'd just keep coming back. Do whatever it took to get it done. Anyway, he's over at Ameritech now. Some kind of technician.
Okay, now try that.
Something. He tried to explain it to me, but I just said, hey, I may not know what you're doing, but I know exactly how you're doing it.
Wish TV salutes Ameritech, a merit to our community. Ameritech's Academic Super Bowl celebrates the academic excellence of Indiana students. Ameritech also supports community events like the 500 Festival and summer concerts at the zoo. Ameritech, a merit to making the difference.
As a denture wearer, I look for the hold and the grip in a denture adhesive.
Watch. Super Polygrip has improved holding power.
Oh, dear. Improved Super Polygrip holds a lot better. A lot better.
Tell the truth. Do you soak your dentures every day? No? Takes too long? Well, Polydent works in just 5 minutes. So it's easy to clean every day. And that's what really helps control denture odor. Use 5-minute Polydent every day.
We promised you last night some pictures of the Redneck Games, and here they are. Right here, bobbing for pig feet and a whole lot of other things. They just had a good old time down there in Dublin, Georgia. Now we want to switch very quickly to a class act around here, one that unfortunately is going to be leaving us after tonight. Dick Rea, this is your last night, and we wanted to wish you well and to thank you for spending 17 years with us here at Wish TV.
And good luck in your new challenge, Dick. We'll miss you.
Appreciate it. Great opportunity here. I've enjoyed being with you all.
We've enjoyed you quite a bit.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. The best of luck to you.
Thanks.
We'll be seeing you. That's all the time we have for right now.
We'll see you again next weekend. Mike and Debbie are back tomorrow. Have a great Sunday night.
It began as the product of meticulous Japanese design, but it was sent to Europe for finishing school. It was tested on Austria's Alpine roads, refined on Germany's autobahns, and chased on England's racetracks. Now the car that's proven itself in Europe is crossing the pond. Introducing the all-new Infiniti G20. Born in Japan, educated in Europe, now available in America.
Announcing ATA's Fall Vacation Sensation Sale. Fly ATA and experience the magic of Orlando. There's no better time to get a jump on your vacation planning and no better place. Orlando, always something different, always lots of fun. Sale fares to Orlando start from only $89. And when you fly ATA, you'll receive a free Orlando Magic Card, good for over $1,000 in savings at select attractions, accommodations, and dining. Experience the vacation magic with Orlando and ATA. Call 1-800-I-FLY-ATA today.